We have Pluto going back into Capricorn. Remember, this is the big deal. This is one of the big deals of this year is Pluto moved into Aquarius, and everybody in the world has been like, what does that mean? Because that's the age of Aquarius. Sometimes I forget I didn't come in this lifetime to be able to sing, but I like to do it anyway. So so a lot of people was is this the marker of the time? And honestly, what we're in before we fully go into the Pluto being in Aquarius is the retrograde that it's going to have going back into Capricorn, where it was for 16 years. For the last 16 years, it's been in that energy. So it's going to go back. So we've had this few months that it's been in Aquarius. So what happened in your life? What was futuristic that came up in your life? Because the party time and the beginnings of that is going to go back and reflect. It's going to go back into the old. It's going back into that Capricorn energy, the structure, all of that. The difference between the Aquarius energy is that futuristic energy. You may have played a lot with AI and all the futuristic stuff. So now you're going to back up. And how are you going to use that stuff practically? How are you going to use that in a practical way in your life if you happen to have been in any of that, any kind of things like that that's been futuristic stuff? It's going to be a reflection period to go back in that. Capricorn can represent old structures. We're going to see some energy going back into I see it. Capricorn can very much be like governmental structures and things like that, institutional kind of structures. And so the Pluto, the planet of transformation. Pluto is all about transformation. Okay. So it's been off into this energy of the Aquarian energy, hanging out with the Aquarius, partying with Aquarian energy, the Aquarian fly your freak flag kind of energy, and what you're bringing in from the future. So it's been there, and now it's going back to have a discussion in Capricorn in the structures. It's going to be back in Capricorn. So we all know the different changes that happen and what happened within structures, institutions, situations when it was in Capricorn the last time. So Pluto is all about transformation. It's all about that. It's all about that energy. And now it's been in this Aquarian energy, this regeneration, and this retrograde can bring up some deep seated issues that force us to confront our shadow side, what we experience, and the desire for change and transformation in our lives. But we may also feel the resistance and the fear because that's that structure that's, all around the Capricorn energy. And now it's going back into that nest. So this retrograde motion from this Aquarius to Capricorn can bring up issues related to the collective, to society, and societal structures. And so, where Aquarius was the sign associated with innovation, progress, social changes, Capricorn associated with traditions, authority, stability. So this retrograde motion can bring up some conflicts between these energies, can bring up some conflicts between that as we struggle to balance the need for change and the desire for stability. It's like the future, the past. Which direction do I go? How do I go straight ahead? Where is the path of grace and divine flow? Look for that one. Ask your soul to show you where that is. What's the in between of the past and the future in the now? Okay. So on a collective level, this energy may manifest as a desire for these changes. And it's also going to be related to the technology. So we may see some stuff come up around that, about this futuristic technology. And then they're trying to put some structures around it and what it's going to do. And then there could be some things that come up around social media. I mean, just look what happened. Talking too fast now. With the whole TikTok thing. It's like the social media, and it's like the structures looking at that, not knowing how to move with this. What are they going to do with it? Are they going to pass laws with communication? So that we may see some more stuff come up like that. Okay, so we may see some conflicts, some tensions arise between traditional power structures and the new emerging voices and movements of the collective. Additionally, Pluto's retrograde motion back into Capricorn can bring up issues related to power, authority, and particularly in the government and corporations and the structures. We may see scandals revealed and revelations come to light during this time period as the hidden truths and secrets are revealed from the past to get to the future. So overall, this energy of Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius and moving back to Capricorn may be one of transformation, upheaval in societal structures, power dynamics. Okay, and it's a time to confront the shadows and work towards a better future. A better future. Oh, this is the energy that this is going to be coming up. Yeah. So during this time period, you may feel like the game is over, that you were moving so forward with all of this, and now all of a sudden the game is over. Like you meant, I don't, do you all remember? Do they still have pinball machines? You know, when you'd hit it and then it would like tilt and then it would stop the whole thing. That could be the energy that you experienced during this time period. That you feel like you tilted it too far, and now it's going to stop and it's recorrecting to see how it's going to move into the future. So all of that open psychic energy that's been there for us, and we've had the crystal ball to look into our futures, that might you may feel like that you're like in between places, and all of those connections that you were having with your star seeds and these knowings that I was here and I came from this celestial thing with this great mission and this destiny for humanity, and that they've left me here by myself. That may all be gone, and you're just like back with the muddles. You're just back with the normies. You're back in the normies. You're back in the normies. So it's like time to integrate, be back with the normies for a little while. Where you going to draw your line in the sand, and what are you going to play when you move into the next realm of this? When we go back again with Pluto, so you've got all summer to be in this sandbox back into the Capricorn energy, and then what you're going to do with these structures, how you're going to kick the sand, and what changes are you going to make, and what are you going to do when you move when October comes back around and it's time to settle into that. And then we'll talk more about that as the time goes on, but that's the energy that we're going to be in. And so you may have feel that because of where we've been, what's going to be happening, and the kind of you may feel like you're in some standstill energy. Okay, so and it's with it. Okay, so let's do all the signs in the houses, because there's two houses that you're going to be retrograding back in. You're in one house and you're going to retrograde back into the other house. Okay, into the house beside it. So I'm going to tell you both of your houses that could be affected during this time period. So I am a Western astrologist. And for this, I am using whole sign system. So you really want to go by your rising sign, because the rising sign is all about you and your inner self. Okay. And you can also look at the overlay through your sun sign. Your sun sign, that's the one that you read in the newspaper that says, are Leos and Aquarius compatible with each other? It's those. Those are the ones that like show up on that. And they're really writing about your rising sign, but they don't, it comes out that way. And so everybody thinks, oh, this is me. And why does this not fit me? Because it's not your rising sign, it's your sun sign. Okay. And your moon, which is more your emotional energy. So you can look at that too. You can listen up and then also reflect on, other people in your life, because your sun is also going to represent father figures, authority, energy like that. And your moon is mother, feminine archetypes in your life. Okay. And what could be going on in that with you, in the reflection of that within yourself. Almost hit that button to change that. Aries, we're going to do you first. So, Aries, rising sign, Aries is going to be in your 10th house, is where you're going to be starting at. So, the Pluto retrograde, it may bring up issues related to your career, reputation, and your public image. And it can be a time of examination of your desires and motivations when it comes to your professional life, and to seek greater power and authority in your chosen field. So, retrograding back into the 11th house, okay, associated with friendships, groups, societal networks. So, this your Aries rising may experience a desire for more connection to like-minded people who share their vision and their goals. And you may be seeking to join and start a new community, and to take on leadership role within your existing group. Okay. You may encounter some challenges, some obstacles in that professional life. I've already talked about all that. Okay. So it's time to assess your goals. That's for everybody. It's time to assess your goals, your motivations when it comes to your life, and especially in your professional life, Aries. Okay. So let's move on with this. Is there anything else? You may feel some challenges and some obstacles with some authority things with that, in those themes, in that energy. Okay, Taurus rising. So this is you're gonna be starting in your 10th house, and it's gonna back up to your ninth house. So what these houses are about. This retrograde may bring up some issues around your career, your reputation, and your beliefs. So, Taurus rising, you may need to confront power dynamics in your professional life, and addressing limiting beliefs that could be holding you back. As this Pluto moves back into the ninth house, there may be a desire for greater spiritual connection, and the need to confront patterns of dogma and rigid things that are holding you back. You can do that sometimes. And of course, this your values, what the dogma is, and things what can you release in your life, that the structures that you've held on to, that you thought brought you value, and where you're going with that, and what you're going to do for yourself with that. Okay, Gemini, rising, ninth house, and then it'll be backing up into your eighth house. So this retrograde may bring up some issues related to your beliefs, spirituality, and intimacy. Gemini rising may feel the need to confront fears and insecurities around vulnerability, and address patterns of emotional suppression. As Pluto moves back into the eighth house, that's June. So we got this month of this reflections going on. There may be a need to confront issues around shared resources and intimacy. So you may be having that coming up for you. That eighth house is it's a money house, other people's money. Sometimes it can be inheritance. It can be energy around that, or how you share money with others. And there could be some you're going to be reflecting on that. There could be some kind of conflict. So just pay attention to it up front, and check all of your boxes, and make sure that it's cohesive for you and others around you, so you don't get blindsided. Okay. Cancer rising, same eighth house, and it's going to back up into your seventh house. So it's going to start in your house of other people's money. Okay. So it could bring up some also energy issues related to intimacy, shared resources, and partnerships. And so you may feel like you need to confront your fears, insecurity around that, and address your patterns of emotional suppression. And then it's going to back up into your seventh house, and there may be a need to confront the power dynamics within your partnership by the time that comes up. So you're going to have a month of reflecting on all of that and your shared resources. This could be, more around in your partnerships and home life is what I'm saying, and where that is for you. And then you're going to do some reflection of the dynamics of this when you move into that seventh house and what that really is for you. You may get sudden insights around some of this. I'm feeling this energy of like a big aha around how much you're carrying yourself. Okay. What's the load that you're overloaded and then it's all on you? Okay, Leo rising. So it's going to start out in your seventh house and then it's going to back up into your sixth house. So this retrograde may bring up some issues related to partnerships, health, and daily routines. You may have a need to confront the power dynamics within your partnerships and address the health concerns that have been pushed aside. It's like I'm hearing, where are you giving up yourself and your power and not taking care of yourself to, be in these partnerships with others? So, as this Pluto moves back into the sixth house, there may be a desire for greater self care and not so much focused on what's going to happen in this relationship and what you need to do to change everything about it and how your light shines through the relationship. It's like, how do you shine your light within yourself and reflect that out into the world? What do you do for you to take care of you so that you can carry your message and your light into the world? So oh yeah, okay. So greater self need. I go off on these things because the energy's coming in, and I got to grab it while we're still in this Aquarian energy. So the need to confront patterns of self neglect's going to be coming up for you, dear Leo. Where have you neglected yourself for partnerships with others? That you're getting your significance from them. How do you have that and carry that light yourself? Okay, Virgo rising, it's going to be in your sixth house and then it's going to back up into your fifth house. So, this retrograde may bring up some issues related to work, health, and your daily routines, which are so important for you, Virgo. So, you may need to confront your power dynamics around your workplace and address health concerns that have been pushed aside. Or did you get lost in the shuffle? Okay, so Pluto moves back into your fifth house of creativity and self expression. So you may explore new hobbies. So you may have an inner reflection of that where did I get lost in all of this um health things and structures that I lost interest in my own hobbies that actually bring the glow to me and the creativity. And then through that, you experience a healthy, more balanced lifestyle and not so I'm hearing OCD with stuff. Okay. That could be some energies like that. So that may be coming up for you during this summer that you get back into some hobbies that are just more pleasant for you, that lightens you up, Virgo. Okay, Libra. Okay, it's going to be in your fifth house and then it's going to back up into your fourth house. So, this retrograde may bring up some issues related to self expression, creativity, and romance. Libra rising, you may need to confront the fears and insecurity around self expression and take some steps to cultivate more authentic self expression. Don't people please for everybody. Express yourself instead of expressing what it is that everybody else needs to hear to be balanced because you can do that. That's one of those things. I know I'm a Libra. I can call it out. Okay. So as Pluto moves back into the fourth house, there may be a need to address some family dynamics and confront some past traumas. So it's going to be good time for you to release those energies that you've been conditioned by family of who you had to be for everybody else to bring balance to the situation so you can bring balance to you. And when you bring balance to you, then that's going to be a more cohesive energy for you, dear Libra. Your scales won't get so knocked off and you'll be able to be that and show and live that and be that in the world. And then that will bring harmony and balance around you instead of trying to balance it all to bring the harmony and balance. Okay, be the harmony and then the balance will come. Okay, Scorpio rising. It's in your fourth house and then it's going to back up into your third house. So this Pluto's retrograde may bring up some issues related to family, home, emotional security. So this Scorpio rising, you may need to confront some hidden issues within your family dynamics and address some patterns of emotional suppression. And as Pluto moves back into your third house, there may be a desire to explore some new forms of communication and self expression. It's like, you know, Scorpio, you're so good at seeing the shadow of everything, and you know what that shadow is. So you may be having some inner reflection on that and how you're going to embody that and bring the light to the shadow through your communication as you bring up as you show the secrets of to the world of the underworld that brings light to the upper world, okay, through your self-expression. Sagittarius, somebody's getting ready to knock on my door. I see them coming up here. They're going to try to sell me something, and I'm not going to walk away from it. Okay, Sagittarius rising in the third house and backing into the second house. Okay, Sagittarius rising. It's coming up in your third house, and it's going to back up into your second house. So this Pluto retrograde may bring up issues related to communication, learning, and finances. Sagittarius rising may need to confront your fears and insecurities about expression and assertiveness. As Pluto moves back into your second house, there may be a need to address financial stability and confront the patterns of materialism and attachment to that. Okay, let me set with this and see what I'm getting for you, Sag. What am I seeing in the Sag rising field? It's a balance, it's coming up with you. It feels like that you've been in some kind of energy of ignoring, and now you won't be able to ignore it anymore because it's gonna that second house, when it backs up into that second house, that's your money house, okay? It's finances, your money house. So you're not gonna be able to ignore any kind of leaks or holes that have been there, and it's about bringing that balance and making sure that you're taking care of everything and to not check out on it, okay? Not check out on it, but to take care of the stuff for your future. Okay, I'm hearing Sagittarius would rather be spontaneous with it, that there's a place of, okay, how do I reflect this and take care of this so I can be spontaneous as I choose to be. And that sometimes you have to take care of this stuff so then you can have that. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn rising in the second house. It's going to be in your second house, which is your money house. And then it's going to back up into your first house. So Pluto's retrograde may bring up some issues related to finances, values, and your self-worth. How have you wrapped all of that in together? And what is that reflection of for you? Because it's in your money house now. Okay. Yes, it is. And so, Capricorn rising, you may need to confront your fears and insecurities around financial stability and take some steps to cultivate greater self worth. As Pluto moves back into your first house, where it's been for the last, since 2008, okay, there may be a desire for some greater self expression and need to did I say that right? Was it those dates? You may need to check those dates. It was like 16 years. Anyway, having brain farts. Squirrels, okay? Okay, so Capricorn rising, you may need to confront your fears around insecurities, financial stability, and take some steps to cultivate greater self worth. As Pluto moves back into your first house, there may be a desire for greater self expression and the need to confront patterns of self criticism and self doubt. So that's the reflection energy, what you're going to be going back into. And this is going to be there on top of you again from where we've got her that you will be back in that energy. So what did you go into the future to to learn and then to bring that back? Okay. Okay. To clear your self-doubt so you know who you are and how to move forward. Aquarius rising, it's going to start in your first house and then it's going back up into your 12th house. So this Pluto's retrograde may bring up some issues related to self-expression, identity, and spirituality. You may need to confront your fears and insecurities around self-expression and assertiveness. As Pluto moves back into your 12th house, when it moves back from the first house into the 12th house, there may be desire for greater spiritual connection and a need to confront the patterns of self sabotage and escapism. That means for you, any of your addiction patterns may show up for you. Well, whatever, anything that you're using to escape with, okay? That you're going to have this month of it still being in your first house, and then it's going to move back into that. So it's going to be a time for you to reflect on that and where um before it moves back into your first house again. And then it's going to be all about you for the next 20 years. That Pluto's going to be there on you. Okay. So that's where you're going. It's just looking at that, looking at your patterns. Where are you escaping and what are you using to escape? And is that escapism for the greater good? Or is it self-indulgence? Pisces, rising, 12th house, and then it's going to back up into your 11th house. So the Pluto's retrograde may bring up some issues related to spirituality, unconscious pattern, and social networks too. That's like your social friends. It's also hidden enemies. Okay, so Pisces rising may need to confront your fears, your insecurities around your spiritual connection and to address the patterns of the subconscious self-sabotaging patterns. You know, Pisces, you like to go off and daydream and go be with God, and you think that you can't do that in your body. It's like you're off in the dreamland and somewhere else. And it's like, how do you stay grounded and be in this now with the energy that you've accumulated and going back into this 11th house energy? There may be a desire for greater social connection and the need to confront patterns of the isolation and the disconnection. So that's the energy. That's the energy that's going to be coming up for you to reflect on and to look at. Okay, so overall, this Pluto retrograde may may bring up some issues related to power dynamics, transformation, evolution to each sign and house combination. So there may be a time to confront, it is a time to confront your fears, your insecurities, to take steps toward this greater self realization and personal power. So that's the opportunity that we have with this energy because Pluto is an outer planet. You know, it's a generational pattern. It's a generational planet that has generational patterns within it. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for incarnating. Thank you for being here at this time that we call now. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for the gift that you are to humanity. So this is Kimberly with Celestial Juju. So if you would like, subscribe, share so I can come and play with you all some more. Put some comments down there and tell me what all have you been experiencing during this time period. What are the inner reflections that you're getting? And how are you taking this and applying this to your life so you can embody who you came to be, your calling, your destiny, and letting go of all that conditioning from the outside world to be your beautiful, bold self. May you be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.